Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I've bought an embroidery kit from Temu. You probably think, oh my god, why would you want to buy a kit from Temu? I think that's how you say it. Everyone knows that it's kind of cheap rubbish, right? Well, the embroidery market is actually really flooded with all these cheap kits. You can get them on Amazon. You can even get them on Etsy, which is like the home of small independent creators and businesses and artists. You actually can get them all over there as well. So I thought I just want to see what a kit from Temu would look like. So I'm going to do an unbagging and you can kind of see, as I see, what we get. Should say this cost around, I think it was £12, which is probably not much cheaper than you would get on Amazon or somewhere like that. However, it is 4 pictures, so that is quite cheap for embroidery kits. So it's just come in a plastic bag, which is not particularly appealing. None of the threads are sorted out, so that's not really helpful. Let's look at the patterns. It is nice to do kits, especially when you're just getting started, and it can actually be really expensive. This fabric is actually quite nice. It's a heavy cotton, I would say. The first pattern, some flowers. I'm not completely blown away by this one. I like that it's on a coloured fabric though. Next one, on just a plain fabric. This almost looks a little bit like crewel work or something with the extra lines. I can imagine that could be done in a crewel style, even if it's not intended to be. Another similar one. You might find with some of these kits that actually it's heavily based upon someone else's work that you will recognise. I'm not actually recognising these designs, but let me know if you do. And this one as well. They are basic flower kits. I don't think there's anything really that you couldn't actually design for yourself. The fabric is fine though. For a beginner, I don't know if this would be a good kit though. You do get a needle threader, which is a bit bent already. Choice of needles, not bad, there is quite a few there. And a very tiny pair of scissors, which they are not going to be much use at all. Your threads, again, they didn't come packaged, so you would have to sort them out yourself. They are a nice mix of colours, brights, pinks, yellows, purples, blues for the flowers, and then obviously green, enough green for the leaves. Not that many greens actually, so just two different greens for 4 different patterns, sorry. I'm not sure that's really enough. I think this is where you are going to tell that it's a really cheap kit, to be honest. This embroidery thread feels very thin. I mean, it's okay. I don't think it's going to tear on you or anything, but I wouldn't risk it if you wanted to wash it, so I wouldn't say that it's going to be colour fast. And you might find it knots up quite a bit, quite easily. Oh, there's another green, sorry. There is a darker green there. You get one plastic hoop for the 4 embroideries, which is fine. If you like to leave your embroidery in a hoop though, it is a plastic hoop and you only have one for the 4 designs. These really little pictures are the only pictures you get of the finished embroidery. So that is not going to be that helpful, especially for a beginner. There's a basic instruction on how to split the thread and use a needle threader. A little list of the colours that you have. And some basic instruction on straight stitch, French knot, outline stitch, leaf stitch and satin stitch, which, to be honest, these are the stitches you will find in a lot of basic kits. They are counted as beginner stitches. Looking back at the instructions, I'm actually having a little bit of difficulty understanding what this all means, to be honest. So D is the embroidery method, C is the colour, okay, fair enough. You would look up D2 for this flower, turn over, and it doesn't, D is obviously satin stitch, but it doesn't relate to, if all the D's are what stitch you're going to use. And the stitches are alphabetized and then the stitches on the actual pattern are numbered, so it's not going to match up particularly. We were looking at this flower, weren't we? So D2, I'm going to say, is French knot, I think. Yeah, B is the French knot. So assuming A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, etc. I'm going to say this is a complicated way of doing it. What you want in a kit is a full-size picture of your final design with potentially arrows saying which stitch to use or which colour, but at least if you've got a full-size picture you have more of an idea. So the instructions, not great for a beginner. The stitches are okay, the cloth's okay, the images are quite basic, but I think will be very pretty when they are finished. The threads, I think we're going to have to wait and see, so I am going to try and do one of these kits and I'll update you on how it's gone. The thread is okay, I'm going to say. It's not great, but it's okay. And usually these plastic hoops are fine, perfectly serviceable. You can see it has a place for a screwdriver, so you can actually tighten this up pretty tight. So I think that's going to be okay. Presentation wise, it just came in a bag, which I guess is what you expect when you're buying kind of in bulk. People who sell this kind of thing on Etsy would buy it in bulk and then separate it into kits and maybe put their own little piece of paper in saying who they are and more information about the kit. I think I'd be disappointed if I had got this one off Etsy. It's okay. We're going to give it a go. It's a very weird website / app. I came across it in my Facebook feed and it kept showing me lots of beautiful pictures, possibly AI generated, of embroideries and things. Naturally, at some point I wanted to give it a go. I'm going to just hoop up one of these so we can have a look and get started on one. I clicked on the app, no, I clicked on the link and it took me to kind of like a pre-shop, and I was spinning wheels and I was getting credits and vouchers and free gifts. But to claim my free gifts I had to buy some stuff, but I could only buy stuff off a certain list. And then eventually, once I bought my stuff, oh no, before I bought my stuff I had to download the app. And then I got more free gifts and credits and spinning wheels and things. It was kind of stressful, to be honest. I couldn't just go to the shop and go, oh yes, this is what I'd like. But once I downloaded the app and paid for a small amount of things because I needed to get the free stuff, obviously, then I was taken to the actual shop. But it's a pretty stressful experience, to be honest. And you think, oh, maybe you're getting a good deal, or maybe you're getting a free gift or something, but actually you're spending way more money than you would have normally. I would definitely put a warning on shopping on Temu. You can easily spend loads of money and you're not quite sure what you're going to get. As for these kits, I wouldn't say don't get one, but I'm not going to wholeheartedly recommend them. But I will sew this up and I'm sure you will see it in a future short. So that has been an unbagging of a Temu embroidery kit. Let me know in the comments if you have any experience on getting your craft supplies through Temu.